This news update is brought to you by...
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
This is the Barbados Today afternoon news update for Wednesday, November 4th. Thank you for joining us. I am Marcelle Williams. We begin with news that Cheriss Ricardo Omar Ince, the man charged with the theft of the vehicle belonging to former Lord School principal Aurelius Smith, has been charged with the murder of Smith's wife, Marcelle Smith. 75-year-old Marcelle Smith went missing 3 weeks ago, and her car was later found abandoned on Culloden Road. An autopsy conducted earlier this week positively identified a body found in a ravine at Halton Plantation, St. Philip, as that of Smith. Ince was remanded to prison on Friday after appearing in the magistrate's court, and he reappeared at the St. Matthias court this morning to answer to charges of theft. He was then slapped with the murder charge. He has been remanded back to Dawes. Police investigations are continuing into the murder of 32-year-old Corey Marco Graves of Harrison Tenantry, St. Lucie last night. Police received the call around 8:10 p.m. and Graves was discovered dead on the roadway at Harrison Tenantry. He was shot several times by an unknown assailant. A senior police officer is today suggesting that speeding and drunk driving may have contributed to recent road fatalities. Assistant Superintendent Ronald Stanford said today there were 6 road fatalities over the past 2 weeks and 20 for the year so far, compared to last year's total of 14. Stanford pleaded with motorists to follow road safety laws, especially with Independence and Christmas festivities fast approaching. He was speaking this morning at the launch of the Junior Road Ranger scheme developed by the Barbados Road Safety Association. One day after Chief Justice Sir Marston Gibson granted a temporary injunction blocking the sale of Banks Holdings Limited, company officials have been making clear their feelings on the matter. Today they met with members of the media, and from all indications, the move is definitely not sitting well with BHL. With the temporary injunction, the Trinidad conglomerate Ansa McAl now has until November 11 to raise objections to the sale of the local beverage company. BHL attorney Barry Gale QC said they were surprised at the move, particularly after the directors rejected calls from Ansa McAl for the board to challenge the contentious agreement in a meeting on October 27th. Gale cautioned that the move will have implications.
Moreover, the agreement in question with Latin Capital, the agreement in question, requires that any dispute should be resolved through arbitration, and not just arbitration in Barbados, but arbitration in Miami, applying New York law. So the board would have, in those circumstances, to commence arbitration proceedings in a foreign jurisdiction, which could be very expensive, protracted to the company, and certainly not in the interests of shareholders, particularly in the environment of a competing ongoing bid process, because the effect of that would be, as we've now seen from the recent court order, to bring everything to a stop, resulting in that shareholders who are anxiously looking forward perhaps to a premium, a substantial premium on their shares, will now may not reap the benefits of the offers that are presently on the table.
The much-anticipated Employment Rights Tribunal hearing for 97 retrenched workers at the National Conservation Commission has hit a snag, which has forced its suspension. Queen's Counsel Pat Cheltenham, who had been appearing on behalf of the employees' representative, the National Union of Public Workers, had earlier said he was no longer in a position to continue at this stage. But sources close to the tribunal told Barbados Today that there are arrangements for another Queen's Counsel, Roger Ford, to take over. When contacted last night, Cheltenham declined to say what prompted him to withdraw his services. However, he emphasized that there was no falling out with anyone, and he has since given the decision second thoughts. The hearings were scheduled to continue on Friday, but they remain on hold as a new date has not yet been set for the resumption. In sports, Marlon Samuels gets the green light to bowl in the second one-day international currently underway in Colombo. but he is unlikely to play for the rest of the series. Samuels was reported for a suspect bowling action last month and was required to undergo an assessment within 14 days to be eligible to continue to bowl in international cricket. He opted not to undergo the assessment and was automatically suspended from bowling in international cricket yesterday. Before the second ODI, the West Indies team was incorrectly advised by the ICC that he was eligible to bowl and then selected their team based on this information. The former head of Athletics World Governing Body, Lamine Diack, is now under investigation for allegations he took payments for deferring sanctions against Russian drugs cheats. French prosecutors suspect the 82-year-old of receiving money in 2011. The IAAF has previously denied claims of widespread doping in the sport, but the new president, Sébastien Coe, has agreed to cooperate with investigations and was questioned by French police yesterday. The IAAF says it is fully cooperating and confirmed that police has conducted searches and interviews at its Monaco headquarters. The act's 16-year-old reign as IAAF president ended in August when Coe, a double Olympic champion, was elected as his replacement.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
In news from the region, Guyana is looking to Central America as it seeks to expand its rice market. Farmers there have been seeking new buyers after Venezuela, one of its main importers, pulled out. Georgetown and Caracas are currently locked in a bitter maritime border dispute. We get the details from Capital News.
As government explores new markets to sell rice, Mexico and Guyana could soon reach an agreement that would see shipments of rice being sent to that country. Mexico has signaled its intention to fast-track a paddy deal with Guyana following a meeting with that country's agriculture minister and Guyana's Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu. A statement from the Prime Minister's office also quoted the Mexican minister as saying that he would also seek to encourage the private sector there to enter into contracts with Guyanese millers. The recent loss of the Venezuelan market through an exchange of rice for oil under a Petro-Caribbean arrangement has forced the government to find alternative markets. Just last week, Guyana's Minister of Agriculture, Noel Holder, assured local farmers in the rice industry that all is not lost with the Venezuelan market pullout. Only 30% of Guyana's rice was being exported to Venezuela. He said currently the government is also pursuing the Panama market along with Haiti and the Bahamas. Guyana's rice production in the first half of this year was recorded at over 359,000 tons, representing an increase compared to last year.
And finally, Uruguay is moving to full commercial market for cannabis by allowing licenses for businesses to grow the drug. Uruguay was the first country in the world to legalize personal cultivation, consumption and sale of the drug. We get more in this BBC report.
It's the kind of thing that could land you in serious trouble in most countries. But here in Uruguay, growing, selling and consuming cannabis is now legal. The first country in the world to opt for full legalization.
This is chocolate number 6, LA Confidential.
The law allows a cannabis club to have as many as 99 plants of varying strengths and properties. And supporters deny charges it'll boost the illegal trade in drugs. Quite the opposite. Just across the border in Brazil, Margarete Brito is frustrated. She knows that cannabis extract, or CBD, helps cut the number of Sophia's epileptic attacks. But getting hold of CBD isn't easy, and there's certainly no off-the-shelf remedy. Even in some US states like Colorado, where cannabis is legal, federal law prohibits medical trials with the drug. So some producers are here in Uruguay.
Once we move beyond anecdotal evidence through the clinical trials about to happen in Uruguay, everything that happens here is going to be watched very carefully by other countries, and I believe they will follow suit if good results are found.
By awarding licenses to 2 companies to grow cannabis commercially, Uruguay's radical marijuana legislation is now almost complete. New businesses are growing, and in addition to medical trials, tax revenues could be worth millions. Many other countries are keeping a close eye on Uruguay's controversial experiment with weed.
That's the news. There's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also, tune in to Channel 101 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for more news and sports. I am Marcelle Williams. Good afternoon.